And now I'm in a special place, a tender warm embrace, where I am now. Where I am now, I'm better than
Good
before.
morning.
Those open doors, where I
All
am.
right, we are here. It's Fun Friday, and I'm your host, Yolanda Hinton, on FYI Morning Show Live, along with Edward Everett, aka Mr. E, the host, co host of FYI. Mr. E, how are you?
And a pleasant good morning to you, and you, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. It's a little cloudy on the outside. The temperature supposed to be about 60 degrees today, but we're supposed to get 40% chance of rain. Listen, it's Friday, and I just got paid, and guess what? I'm ready to rock and roll.
I tell you what, it's going to be a warm Friday because our weather is going to be like 70 here in the Hampton Roads area. Oh man, in February, I am absolutely glad, excited, and can't wait to get out there and have some fun time. A lot of things going on during this weekend, and I hope to get a chance to get out and do some things. Mr. E, how's your weekend going to play out?
Well, I got a great weekend planned out. I got the grandkids supposed to come over for about 2, 3 hours.
Hmm.
I'm doing little granddaddy duty, So the grandkids supposed to come on over and um, hang out for just a little while, for a couple of hours. Miss Hinton, we was talking earlier about the weather. The weather, it says it's supposed to be 66 degrees today and 65% chance of rain. But guess what?
Hmm.
On Monday, it's supposed to be 40 degrees and 80% of sleet and snow. Rain.
Absolutely. It's going to be a little up and down and possibly some precipitation. We will see. February, we're getting ready to go into March. It's a little bit unpredictable, but we can expect that. It's not odd to see snow sometimes in February or March. So we just have to wait. Keep your coats out. Don't put them up yet.
That's
And
right.
we'll see what happens.
That's right. You better not put that coat up. You put that coat up, you're gonna be in tall cotton.
Absolutely. It is still winter, and so you all govern yourselves accordingly. Oh, I want to welcome our listeners and viewers. Let's welcome Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok over here. Look, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channels. As a matter of fact, TikTok right now, our numbers are going up some, but we would love for you all to go to Y Hinton, right where you are actually, YHINTON, and subscribe, follow the channel. And those that are on the other platforms, Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, please go over to Y Hinton, YHINTON, over there and follow us, please. We would love the numbers. We want to really get a chance to talk with you face to face, pull you in, and we can only do that with a certain amount of numbers. We're almost there. So please, please, and please, if you would, go over there. And don't forget, go over to YouTube at Cristo Records One, Cristo Records One, or at FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. When we see your name, we promise to shout you out.
Also before we get started, I want to say happy birthday to Miss Mardell. I want to say happy birthday to you, Miss Mardell. Today is that beautiful lady's birthday, so today we want to wish you a happy
Is
birthday.
that Mardell Lewis, Miss
Miss
Mardell?
Mardell Lewis.
All right then, happy birthday, young lady. I tell you, her birthday seems like they come around quite often, but I tell you what, she looks like she always enjoys herself on her birthday, celebrating life here. and been around the sun, what, 80 something years possibly? A lot, been around the sun quite a bit. I tell you what, I bet you she could tell us a whole lot of things, a lot of story, and a lot about her journey. So, yeah, so we want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much for your support. This is February, and we're still celebrating Black History Month, Mr. E. And
That's right.
so on this fun Friday, we have FYI segment, What's in Your Closet? But we're going to continue with our Black History Month celebration. And today we're going to talk about food history. Oh my goodness. Black history, Black food history is a story of resilience and cultural synthesis, transforming meager rations during slavery into the fundamental flavor forward cuisine known as soul food. Now, Mr. E, we're going to talk about that in that aspect, but I also wanted to ask you eventually about the healthiness of this thing called soul food. So it says it blends West African culinary traditions, okra, rice, watermelon, with indigenous ingredients and European cooking techniques, creating a resilient culinary heritage, soul food. You know, that sounds really good. And I tell you what, in our history, we definitely know that we can cook. And I say that because, you know, I came up with a mother that could cook everything, and then a grandmother as well. She could cook, and they cooked in my household very healthy. You know, at the time we wasn't doing all that eating out and things like that, Mr. E. I mean, we did. We went, you know, we would go and we would travel sometime and we would eat out, but uh, we would absolutely have some of the healthiest food and the best tasting food. You know, they got their, you know, they just had the skills. What do you think about that?
Miss Hinton, the way the soul food is done, and in the studies, you find that the key elements of Black food history is rooted in Africa and in slavery. When
Wow.
you started looking at Black soul food, and to determine whether or not it's healthy for you, it was healthy for you then because you was a different breed. But today, that food is not healthy for you today because you cannot take a pound of lard and put it in a pan and call yourself eating healthy. They said that the root of African and at the root of African food history is African and enslaved African bought agriculture knowledge using lies in crops like yams, and I like yams,
Mhm.
okra, and I like okra, and I like rice.
Yes.
And that starch, all that is starch. And sometimes when you look at the food that you eat and the way the ingredients that you put into yams and the ingredients that you put into okra and to rice, that's they have adopted a cooking method, boiling, stewing, and frying to survive in America.
And the thing about it, the enslaved people, they transform undesirable ingredients, pig feet, chitlins, ham hocks, and meager rations into flavorful meals, establishing dishes like collard greens, cornbread, and fried fish as a staple of survival and cultural pride. Now, look, they took the least and they made something out of it and they made it flavorful. But this is what they were given. What they were given, they utilized it and made something good out of it. And so that's where you can see, you know, the ingenuity, you know, how the culture took and transformed things, you know. And I tell you what, where they were, and if they were on a plantation, I tell you what, those people that were the slave owners, they enjoyed the cuisine as well. It was a flavorful cuisine and it was very creative. Now,
And
in
that's
this
right.
day and time, Mr. E, I can say that we have turned it. into something a little different. I mean, we're still cooking the same, but I'm saying when we use excess, like you were just talking about excess oils, excess sugars, excess salts, and things like that, artificial flavoring, and all that kind of stuff, it kind of changes things. And not only that, one of the main reasons why the cuisine may be, at the point of not being as healthy is when you overeat. I don't care if you're eating the most healthiest thing. If you overeat, you're going to bring forth an unhealthy body. And so that's what we really need to get back to, because we can still cook, we can still make it good, we can make it flavor, it's cultural. But what we do, and we can see in the weight of individuals, that the weight of America has gone up so much. Uh, back in the, I know when I was growing up, families were, kind of like slender. They, like I said, ate well. They weren't eating out everywhere. They ate at a certain time. And so you didn't find a lot of full figure people in the in families but I'm not saying you didn't have some, but I'm saying people were more, you know, built a little different. Now, if you notice, and the statistics will tell you that folks are bigger now.
Yeah.
And that comes from eating and overeating
Well,
and eating the wrong things.
But when you started looking at it, now we ain't pulling a plow. We ain't walking behind a mule. We ain't right now. We ain't doing the same thing that we did back in the days of old. That physical stuff. We can eat and lay down, put a straw in your mouth, and chill. We can eat and get back up and eat some more. And because we ain't got nobody running us through the woods now. We ain't got nobody using us as target practice to keep us in shape and exercising us. We ain't got nobody hollering and screaming at you. Right now, we don't have that. And if we had not had exercise and things of that nature back in the days of old, then we had some big old people sitting around there, big old people. Enslaved people is transformed undesirable ingredients. And you said something like
They were
pig,
what? I didn't hear you, Miss D. They what?
undesirable
Hmm.
flavor food, like like undesirable creations, and like pig feet. Who in the world eat pig feet? I like chitlins. I like ham hock. They put that all there together supposedly to give you flavor.
Well, people eat it. They eat it now. The only thing about it is, I feel as though people not well, in slavery, of course, they had to keep moving. They had to keep moving, and then they weren't access to food just like that. The master won't giving folk food just like that. Here, y'all take all the food you want. It didn't work like that.
Yo,
And so access, and so down throughout the generations, we are more privileged to eat more, access to more food, most of us. And so people now tend to overeat and are less active. And I think that's where it becomes healthy. But eating a part of the pig, or eating, things different. I mean, things like chitlins and things like that. I don't think that's the cause of bad health. I think the cause of bad health are people not eating right. They're not eating the right types of portions and things like that. They're not exercising. It's bringing on bad health. They're using more salts, more sugars. It's just all the way around. People are just turning what we call soul food and a wonderful cuisine of our heritage, and they're turning it into something that's more unhealthy. Soul food is a tradition, it's a reflection of rich cultural heritage, with many American dishes tracing their roots to African agriculture, expertise, and culinary traditions. If you go back to Africa, they use meats, and they use, rich dishes. You'll get stuff like gumbo, jollof rice. Of course, they have collard greens, okra, a lot of fresh vegetables, fresh poultry, and they had this thing called Hoppin' John. Mr. E was Hoppin' John.
I think Hoppin' John is black eyed peas and rice.
Is everything you can put in a pot, huh?
Well, see that's back in the days of old where they didn't let nothing go to waste. You
Hmm.
know, nothing. They had no choice because it's just like in the Bible. You eat for the day because you don't know where you're gonna be at tomorrow. So you eat enough for the day because tomorrow might be something totally different. Because and you don't know where your next meal coming from. You might be
Hmm.
sold on the same on the trade. Your master might want you to do something totally different. So for that day, you ate everything underneath the sun, and from macaroni, cheese, you name it, ham, green. Shirley Caesar got a song out. Ham, cheese, you name it, and you get all of that: yams, okra, and pig feet, pig ears, pig tail. And the funny thing about it is that they didn't leave nothing behind, and they threw it in the pan. If you had a
Yes.
pig tail, it went into the pan. If you had one ear, it went into the pan. If you had rice, whatever you had left over was hopping john.
So soul food, as we know it, are all these things: fried chicken, cornbread. You also have macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes, and the way we cook them, they're definitely good. But again, you can actually eat these things, the gumbos and the soups and the stews, the potatoes and things like that, but you need to actually discipline yourself with this wonderful cuisine, because everybody loves soul food. But when you begin to overeat or go to the right and the left with your eating habits, then I really believe it becomes unhealthy. Do you think pig feet? Now I don't eat that stuff, but pig feet. What is it? Chitlins and ham. Do you think that's an unhealthy I mean, part of the cuisine, or is
You
it what how people prepare it?
I don't understand how people prepare. I don't know how folks can say that the pig give them high blood pressure and sway your head up.
Salt.
If you cook it, if they say you're supposed to cook it a certain way, and what is the difference between a pig and a barbecue cow? What is the difference between barbecue, chicken barbecue, and a pig? It's all pork. All of that you're eating is uh, pork. I think it's the way that people prepared it.
And it's also some people kind of like lean toward the Bible, talking about certain things that you eat, certain things that you don't eat. Also, the pig is known at one time. I don't know how they do it now. They may do it just corn, or they used to they used to slop them. They used to slop a hog, and he would eat anything. I mean, cans, paper, bugs. I mean, and it's. I think people kind of like thought it as a very unhealthy animal, and so, but that was a part of the cuisine, the soul food.
Really?
That ham, that people love that ham,
Who?
and all different things are part of of the pig, and so people kind of look at a pig like it's kind of like a animal that is known for indulging in, what can I say, all kind of, they eat all kind of things, they'll eat anything, but I think again, our choices, how we eat. And in this day and time, along with soul food, we're eating food that's not the best in, you know, for our health. You have food that's got a lot of chemicals, food coloring. You got a whole lot of things in food now, and it's adding to the problem. But I wanted to get back to the origin of soul food, Mr. E. And it says the term emerged in the 1960s, Black Power movement, but the cuisine roots lie in West Central African, Native American, and European cooking methods, creating a rich, flavorful meal, at times and overlooked ingredients. Listen to this. Ingredients bought from Africa was, and we mentioned it before, okra, and they also said black eyed peas, watermelon, sorghum, and the cola nut, the origin of the soda industry, were brought over by enslaved Africans. So you all are drinking Coca-Cola, and that the cola nuts came from the African nation. Food as a resistance and survival. Of course, enslaved people kept gardens. That's another thing. Do people have gardens now? They
Cultivated, yeah.
they cultivated crops, of course, like sweet potatoes and yams. And it says a loophole in slave codes allowed them to raise chickens when they sold, leading to when they were sold, leading to mastery and frying and preparing chicken. So things have changed. The chicken that we buy out of the store, Mr. E, there's some of that stuff is full of chemicals. Some of that stuff is not as healthy, and so
Well,
you know.
and I think that some of that stuff that's in the store that we're buying now, folks has messed up the style of cooking, of
Mhm.
how they prepare the food. You take a pig and the master with the people who raise these hogs, they will watch everything that the pig eat. Now folks don't care. They don't care what he can eat a spoon, he can get a fork, he can eat anything in there and the chicken. They raised them and gave them feed and seed. Now folks after it's shooting up with chemicals, just like they're doing with the flowers in the garden, just like they're doing everything else. They done took something that was good and started making it bigger with chemical building,
Mhm.
just like like seedless grapes. That's man-made. That's not God-made. Because seedless grapes is good. They're good because you can just chew them. But when God make a flower, He always like fruit. They always have seeds and stuff to go in with it. But that's some of the technique that causes us to be obesity, that causes us to be fat, that causes us to, have high blood pressure, that causes us to be diabetes and have blood sugar, cause our vision to go down because now they had filled it full of sodium, and somebody told us that you can ship. I mean, black people that you can put sodium that will keep your food.
Well, I tell you what, we are eating bad. Let's just tell it like it is. But back in the day, according to our history, we worked with what we had, but we also, embraced things that were healthy. That, like we said, vegetables and things like that. Raising your own chickens, they didn't add a whole lot of hormones and all that kind of stuff. It was a cuisine that people embrace because it is good. It was good, and it still is good. But we have to learn how to make sure we're making, preparing fresh foods, and eating fresh foods, and teaching our children to eat fresh foods. These foods, back in the day, back when we first came over, was a healthier food. There's nothing wrong with eating pork and things like that, but it was a healthier cuisine. And now we have taken it and we are overindulging, and that is really making the thing called soul food. They coin it now as not as healthy, unhealthy. It's not a healthy cuisine now. Um, but we do have to watch the way we prepare. We have to watch, get back to our roots, get back to preparing fresh things, get back to those gardens, get back to, knowing how to use herbs and seasoning. We got to get back to that because we have definitely, we are a bigger, in America anyway, we are a bigger people, we are, a healthy, what I mean by healthy is we have expanded some, and wherein it was a more slender, people were more slender at one time. Now, they're talking about type 2 diabetes and all kind of health issues related to the way we eat. But, there were a lot of people that contribute to the cuisine. They were talking about uh, James Hemming. He was an enslaved who trained in France, bringing, certain cuisines over, macaroni and cheese, ice cream, French fries, and all kind of different things over. Also, Gula Geechee, he was a distinct cultural from the coast that maintained strong West African roots in rice-based and one-pot dishes. And so we had a lot of different techniques. We had evolution of techniques with cooking, smoking meats, pickling, using potato hulls for storage, as well as one-pot meals, gumbo stews, and such on, without a lot of preservatives and a lot of things that were harsh to the body. So we had a lot of chefs in 2019. We had Chef Maya Russell coming up in this time, became the first Black woman to be awarded in a Michelin star, her restaurant, a Michelin star. Isn't that wonderful? Um, and it is just something to see how food has evolved, how things have changed, how things have not changed, but how we celebrate, how we eat. We take pride in, I have to say, we take pride in our food, even, soul food. We take pride in the fact that it is something that we enjoy, something that's delicious, something that other cultures and races, they think it's a good thing. They indulge in how we uh, prepared and made food. And so we take pride in it as a part of our history to, be able to share something that is so unique and so awesome. I think it's awesome. I just mentioned to Mr. E how my grandmother and my mother and aunts and them could really cook, and they cook healthy, and they cook, a well balanced meal of vegetables, and made sure they had protein, and it wasn't a whole lot of carbs, but if it was done very well and managed very well. They weren't over salted or anything, So we came up really, really eating very, very healthy, uh, and so I'm trying to keep that in my life, in my world. I know that other cuisines are appealing, and I know that other people are, really into uh, going out there and eating in certain places and eating fast food and all that kind of stuff. But that is a long way. Some of that stuff is a long way from our tradition and a long way of how we prepared. And it is actually kind of like prepared and processed differently. And it is sometimes problematic because of the things that, are prepared in different restaurants and things like that. I hope that we balance, even, as African American people, will put a balance in how we eat, and take note from our past, our ancestors, and those that had come over to kind of get back to a balanced meal, and of meals that wherein you eat and you know that it's not going to cause bad health. So uh, I'm just really glad to be able to talk about this. It also talks about Black leaders, how they significantly shaped the nation's food system and nation's field. It says that Flemmy Pansy Cattell was the first African American woman to earn a doctorate in nutrition. And Gladys Kidd Jennings was a trailblazer focusing on the unique dietary needs within Black communities. Black communities, how do we eat? What do we eat? What is needed now? Now we talk about food wherein it's a lack in some of our communities, a lack of good food, a lack of fresh foods. And so, we have to keep that in mind, wherein we've got to do like back in the day, try to make something out of a little, try to do the best we can in preparing for our children and making sure they're not just consuming a lot of artificial chemicals, preservatives, and things like that. Back in the day, they made something out of nothing, basically, and they put together things that were good, edible, and nutritious. And so we've got to do the same thing with this thing called, what is it? Somebody put it in the chat. It's wherein food insecurity is something like that. I think that's what they call it, wherein food is not like it used to be. And in our communities, in our Black communities, it's something that is not available like it should be. Some people, I don't know if you all know it, some people are not able to get food. Some people are not able to get fresh food, healthy food. You wouldn't think of that in 2026 in America, but it's true. Our communities are suffering. But we're hoping that enough people would understand, and families would get together and begin to recognize that we need to put an effort in making sure everybody's eating and eating well. Our schools, make sure our children are eating well. They're putting a lot of fast food things in schools now. But we really have to get back to basics, or we're going to have an unhealthy community, an unhealthy world. We've got to get back to eating right because it is affecting our health. It's affecting our weight. Young people have more issues than I've ever seen. And a lot of it is stemming from the way they eat. You got type 2 diabetes just everywhere, abounding. You have young people that are bigger than they used to be, and they are not working out. They're, on those social media platforms, and they're on the phone, and they're sitting and eating and drinking sodas and consuming this, that, and the other, making a more unhealthy community. So families, you got to get back to basics. Again, we are talking about Black History Month and celebrating our food history and the fact that, we really, really mastered wonderful techniques and things that could make us a healthier people, people that could really survive. Can you imagine back in slavery time when you had to work the fields? Mr. E mentioned it a minute ago. But working that field meant that you had to actually have the stamina to do it. And you had to have proper food. You had to have water. You had to have energy. And so I think in my mind, they realized that they had to eat well in order to perform well in the field. And it's just sometimes I just think about it and I'm like, wow, you had to feed and people had to eat. And so they had to eat because they had to work, they had to use energy. And so they prepared things that could help them to survive. I tell you what, we're going to continue. We have a few more days, Black History Month. I hope this has been a teachable moment on FYI. We've been bringing different subject matter about our history and things like that. I also posted about Jesse Jackson. They're going to have his service coming up real soon. The information is on my page, Yolanda Hinton, if you all want to go and just see, how they're going to have his going home service, as people call it, and the things that the program. I have that listed on my page, Yolanda Hinton, on Facebook. Also, I just wanted to mention again that we're going to continue FYI's Black History Month. We're going to talk about Black love. Black love. That's why I want to pull you all in over here on TikTok, because I would love to have that conversation with you all. Um, Talk about Black love. What do you mean when you say Black love? We have a special guest, Mr. Tony Beer, who I call a love guru. And we're going to talk about Black love as a part of our history. I want you all to make sure you all join us. I will make that announcement. And, we'll talk about other things before the month is out. But I want to remind you all again that Black History Month, yes, it's in February, celebrated in February, but it is a teachable moment for not just African American people, but for everybody, for other races as well, to know who we are, what we are, how we survived, what we had to go through, where we're going in this day and age. We are telling you all about ourselves and letting you see, just letting you see how we have managed our families and managed our businesses and lives and our creativity and inventions and things like that. This is who we are. And so we're going to continue in February, but we're going to also just highlight from time to time of, women that have accomplished things, African American women who have accomplished things during Women's Month, and just a lot more about who we are. It doesn't have to be a February thing. That's what I'm trying to say. It can be a all year round thing where we, celebrate us, who we are. We have to do this. We have to do it because people who tried to coin us, brought us over here and tried to coin us as less than, coin us as something that wasn't human, coin us as something that didn't have any skills, like we were illiterate. Coin us in so many ways, but God shows us and shows you who we are. We are warriors, fighters, accomplished. And I say warriors, fighters because we have fought to where we are. And we will continue to fight, and we will teach our children who we are. We will continue to fight for our rights. We fought to where we are now. And so many people advocated and really got in there with us to help us to be. And I don't care what you call us, what you think of us. We don't teach our children that we're less than. We teach our children that they are somebody. I'm thinking about Jesse Jackson, and Jesse Jackson coined the phrase, I am somebody. That's what we teach our children. And so we want you all to know that about us and about our history, where we came from, how we got here. How we got here. We didn't ask to come here, first of all. But since we're here, we're making the best of it. And we'll continue to grow and be and evolve. We're everywhere. We're billionaires now. We're millionaires now. We are living where we want to live, loving who we want to love. We are here to stay, and we will continue to climb. Then we have the ability to see light, the ability to see God. You can't take that away from us either. You know that? You can't take that away from us. We have the ability to see God so we can continue to be, grow, achieve, and we will continue to rise. So look, let me tell you all a few things about some upcoming shows. We have, oh wow, I love this guest. We have Dr. Hezekiah Brown, and he has some great books out. Um, he talks about reparations. He has a book um, about reparations, and I love that book. He has a lot of different books that are out, but we're going to be talking to him um, real soon. As a matter of fact, I believe Monday or Wednesday he'll be coming on. We want you to make sure you check out that show. And, if you have any questions about reparations, if you need his book to hear more about what reparations are and the fact that we're still fighting to get it as African American people. And he has so much information and so much knowledge. Also, conflict resolution. That's another book that he has. I love that book. He's been all over the world with conflict resolution as a coach. He's taught so much about conflict resolutions. He's been in so many organizations and corporations and one on one where he teaches people how to resolve issues. Oh, that's a good book too, y'all. And he'll be on. I'll announce it. You all can hear more about uh, uh, Dr. Hezekiah Brown. In the meantime, again, we'll have our love guru on, Mr. Tony Beer. We'll have some hot topics, and I am gearing up to be able to have a conversation with you all, a conversation with the lady, with Yolanda Hinton, the lady. I would love to hear your story. I would love to hear the things that make you tick, who you are, why you are, what you've done, and a great conversation. If you have anything you feel like our audience, my audience would love to hear, I'm going to be coming on with that new podcast. I will announce what evening, I will announce what time. And if you all are interested in being a special guest to tell your story, please inbox me. Please inbox me right here on social media. Um, or you can email FYI Radio Show Live at gmail.com. That's FYI Radio Show Live at gmail.com. And you can talk with the lady. I'm interested in knowing who you are. You can know a little bit more about me and what we have in common and what things we can do to help one another in this world. I tell you, it's a lot going on. How many know it's a lot going on? It is so much going on, and we're going to be covering some of those things as well. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 on all social media platforms. Don't forget at Monday evening, we have After Dark, FYI After Dark. We want you to join us on all social media platforms for FYI After Dark. And if you want to be on any of those shows, you please inbox us. Let me know that you are interested in being my special guest or guest with Mr. E and myself. You can call 757-714-7861 if you want to get in touch with Mr. E and kind of schedule to come on. FYI for your information. So we bring all kind of information. We're not just stuck on certain topics. We kind of cover everything. We do have segments like FYI Men Issues on Wednesday. We do also do Fun Fridays. We do women's issues, of course, sports talk. But we cover everything, breaking news, anything that you can think of that brings information and actually inspires and motivate you. That's what we do. So I'm telling you, this is a great time. I tell you what, for FYI, because we are transitioning and doing different things. And we want you to make sure you are a part of it. We want to say thank you for your support. All you all that are on, I know my girl Sheila is on. We have somebody over here on Instagram, I think is Lil, Lil underscore WAINAH, I think it's INA, I'm sorry. And so she's on with us. All you on, oh, L, some of these names I cannot pronounce, but I'm going to spell it Elhadj. Hello. Thank you for joining us, Anastasia. Thank you for joining us, Alejo. Thank you for joining us. So many wonderful people up here. Listen, I need to be able to pull you all in as guests. Um, but I can't do it without the numbers. We need 1,000 people. This is a new platform for us. So please, over here on TikTok, please, please, please follow us. Follow me, Y Hinton, YHINTON, so I can pull you in and talk with you face to face. I want to see who you are. I want to see what you do. I want to see how you feel. And I just want to share with you who I am as well. And, just have a great time. So, TikTok, if you will, and all those over here on social media, please go to Y Hinton, YHINTON on TikTok and follow in order for me to pull in our audience and have a great, great conversation. So, look, it's the weekend. I'm going to have me a great weekend. I'm going to have some fun things that I do. I always take time on the weekends to have something great to do. There are a lot of plays out here. There are a lot of things. People are still celebrating Black History Month. In Portsmouth, they have some things, activities and things going on. Make sure you all look up what's happening in your city, in your town, either look online and see what's happening. There's a lot of things that gives tribute to Black History Month. What else? It's just so much going on. But this is the weekend again, and I will be back on Monday to talk with you all. We'll do our sports talk, and we'll also have our great guest, Dr. Hezekiah Brown. Won't you all join me? Black Beauty, how are you? I see you. Diana, hi. Wow. Let's see, H-A. I cannot pronounce that. But you all are up here, and I'm so glad. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. Amanda, how you doing, Amanda? I got to come and say hi to you on your page. I see you doing well, your little boy growing up and everything. It is really, really good to have you on and seeing what's happening. So again, if you all will help me out on Y Hinton, join me, follow me so I can, talk with you. I like to see your face. You see mine, I want to see yours. I want to see what you do, who you are, and hope you're doing well. All right, so look, gotta go. See you all on Monday. Be blessed. You all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. If I missed your name in the chat, please forgive me. I need to try to shout out everybody if I can. I'll do the best I can, okay? Have a wonderful weekend. See you soon. I know. See you later, TikTok. All right.